There's been so much horror news as of late that it feels almost impossible to catch up on. But nonetheless, let me give you guys some new updates and news in regards to the latest horror topics. Starting off with some very exciting news because it has been announced that my boy Kyle Gallner will be back to reprise his role as Joel in Smile 2. Aside from Justin Long, I consider Kyle to be the king of horror, so anytime he's involved in a horror project, I need it. I must say though, I am slightly concerned because if you've seen the end of the first Smile, then you know, not looking too shabby for my boy. Really hoping they don't kill him off in the beginning. And for those of you who are a fan of these movies, it has been announced that 28 years later is in the works with hopes to start up a new trilogy. Now, I've never really been big on the zombie subgenre of horror, but I will say these two movies right here are some pretty fucking solid zombie flicks. Definitely excited to see these get brought back to life because I think we are definitely in need of some good zombie flicks. Now, this just gives me more of a reason to tune into the Fear Street trilogy because I actually have not seen any of those films yet, but Fear Street 4 is in pre-production. This is exciting because this is a trilogy that has a very strong fan base, so needless to say, this is one that's going to have a lot of people buzzing. And of course, this should be absolutely no surprise to anybody, but David Gordon Green, director of Exorcist Believer, has quit and dropped out of The Exorcist Deceiver, which was set to be the newest sequel. That said sequel has now also been delayed indefinitely. I mean, for them to even think that they were going to make a trilogy out of these movies, they must have been smoking crack. Definitely smart on David Gordon Green's part because his name has already been dragged through the mud enough, and this was only going to add fuel to the fire if he would have continued with these projects. Honestly, throw away that whole fucking trilogy they had planned on doing. We don't need it. The Radio Silence team is once again partnering with Melissa Barrera, and if you're not familiar with them, they are the team that worked on the Scream 5 and Scream 6 films. We now have a release date and a trailer for their newest upcoming project titled Abigail. This one should definitely be intriguing. It's going to be one that I'm going to support regardless because it's Melissa Barrera, but the plot is actually interesting as it follows a group of people who break into a home to try to kidnap a little girl, only to find out that this little girl is actually a vampire. Again, this stars Melissa Barrera, and it also stars the late great Angus Cloud. Rest in peace to my boy. I think this may have been the last project he was a part of, not 100% sure, but if you are a fan of his work, I would say definitely go check this out. The trailer I thought gave away a little too much, but again, with this being a Radio Silence film, Melissa Barrera, Angus Cloud, needless to say, I'm there. And plus, I mean, look at Bae. This woman makes me weak, okay? Flawless. Last but certainly not least, this may very well be the biggest piece of news in this whole video. Michelle Monaghan, star of the upcoming film Maxine, stated in an interview earlier this week that the film may be scheduled for a summer release. Emphasis on may because this hasn't been confirmed yet, but for anybody who's been absolutely foaming at the mouth for any piece of information regarding this fucking release date, we'll take it, okay? A24, the fans have waited long enough. We need a release date or a trailer now.